the environment has changed so dramatically because our underlying real economic driver is real estate. As you well know, real estate has suffered enormously across the country, and certainly in this area, probably worse than most. We were later coming to the recession, and I think we're a little later going out. Talbot, unlike Queen Anne, has seen, and Kent probably, has seen a little bit more dramatic decrease in prices than some of the other counties. But by and large, we're still here. We're still lending money. We're still prosperous. The community's still prosperous. But I think you're right. And I think most of the mid-shore communities have done okay through this. It could have been a lot worse. I think there are a number of changes that are caused by the recession. I think the shore bank shares recognized we have three of these wonderful 100-year-old companies that have their own brand recognition, real cachet, but by and large our customers don't understand that we can provide those services under one umbrella, that they're all interconnected. And that's really why we kind of launched our new tagline. Good things are happening here. Initially, I think that our goal was to try to link all of our companies together. We've got the C&B, Talbot Bank, Avon Dixon, and all of its affiliated brands, all over 100 years old. And we're trying to create some brand recognition through this one tagline. I think that it kind of morphed into something quite different. I think that it is now what I would consider a promise, a brand promise to our customers. And it's really excited our employees. I mean, we've operated typically in these little silos, and now it's all starting to come together. And I think our employees are very excited about the prospects of, one kind of theme and one company. And it is the first time we've tried to do this and create some synergy and some association among our different brands. And we really feel that that's important, not only from our standpoint, but from the customer standpoint. The larger competitors we have in this area, they offer, a full realm of services. People don't understand we offer those same services, just in the form of different brands. I think the real important thing is not just, well, let's talk about the financial aspects first. When you deposit money with any of our banks, that money stays in this community. Some of our super regional competitors, go to Pittsburgh or Buffalo or some other project across the bridge. And in our case, the money stays here. We are really an economic engine for small business, for our local communities. And beyond that, as I said, our people live and work here. We have a tremendous amount of community involvement among our employee base. I think we have something in excess of 15,000 hours worth of volunteer service through our affiliates to their respective communities annually. So that's a huge number. And it's such an important part of small communities like Talbot, Queen Anne, or Kent County.
Do you think it's a level playing field with the big guys?
I don't think it's ever level. I think that we have the distinct advantage in that we can compete, but we compete on service and value to the customer. They typically will compete on price. And sometimes it's hard to beat that into people's heads, but price isn't everything in this case. Service, we've been here, part of what's happened to our banks is we've stuck with our customers through thick and thin through this environment. I mean, we've stuck with our communities. That's what we do. That's what community banks do. We're here in the good times. We're here in the bad times. We don't decide to leave an industry just because it's not in vogue or not popular. In terms of the politics of the state of Maryland, I think that it is not a business-friendly state. I mean, just from the tax structure standpoint, it really is not. However, I mean, they do have some, economic development programs that can, drive some generous kind of subsidized projects. We have one right here in Talbot County right now. The Eastern Shoreland Conservancy is rehabbing an old building in downtown Easton. And so that will, in and of itself, will not only take care of a blight on the town of Easton, but it will also create an opportunity for jobs and for a conservation kind of center right in downtown Easton, which I think will create some other opportunities for downtown Easton. But in terms of the independent businessman, I think it is an unfriendly state generally. Unfortunately, I would qualify this by saying I think that the Delmarva or the Eastern Shore of Maryland is a little disadvantaged because largely, most of the political influence is across the bridge. I mean, just from a population standpoint. Some of the policies, some of the laws that are passed have significant impact. Our county governments don't believe that they can do much about those. So I think that we are disadvantaged, and I think that, it's like everything else. The pendulum swings one way, and, the next wave, hopefully it swings back to the middle. Too far left or too far right isn't good, but, somewhere we need to find balance. But we're making a lot of cultural changes at Shore Bank Shares. It's not just the branding effort, it's the kind of consolidation of employee attitude, morale, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's getting everybody on the same page. And it takes some things like this common theme, a lot of team meetings, a lot of social events, those sorts of things to change the culture, to break down the barriers. And everybody has a great deal of pride in their brand, whether it be C&B or Avon Dixon or the Talbot Bank. But they are now recognizing this is Shore Bank Shares. This is how we're going to march into the future. We can still carry our brand flag, but this Shore Bank Shares creates a huge opportunity for us in terms of our competitive ability.